City and Madrid are one of the hottest rivalries right now that we have in football. This has been a crazy turn of events. And honestly, guys, the last couple of years, seeing these two clubs meet each other in the Champions League is becoming one of my favorite things to do every year. Guys, Pep and Rudiger, I don't know if you guys saw this. I have a viral video right now on TikTok circulating, and both clubs, their fan bases are attacking each other in the comments. This is how you know it's a true rivalry. Pep and Rudiger at the end of the game, the second leg, Pep was going around, congratulating all the Madrid players, letting them know good game. He was being very nice and supportive and mature about it. Rudiger at the end goes up to Pep, and you can't know exactly what they're saying, but you can read the body language. At first, Pep is smiling, and then all of a sudden, Pep has like a kind of like, what the hell's going on look between him and Rudiger, and Rudiger's kind of in his face. You start to see the other players notice what's going on, and they all get in the middle of it. Arbeloa ends up actually having to grab Rudiger. He gestures over to someone else to be like, yo, keep your eye on Rudiger. Make sure he doesn't go back to Pep. And Pep leaves the exchange looking at him kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing. Like, kind of like, screw you and I'll see you soon again at one point. It was very, very intense. And at the end as well, Trent also was making fun of Doku's play style and ability. He was mimicking to another Madrid player at the end, doing this, like kind of mimicking Doku's shimmying. And it was very, very like telling that it was like making fun of him. This rivalry is sick. I love it for football. Vinny Jr. was out here trolling City fans at the end of the game with his celebrations with the game. He was giving like the whole like keep crying now. Now City fans especially have to understand, yes, Vinny is a troll. He can get under your skin, but you guys did that to him as well last year when Rodri won the Ballon. You guys were all over Vinny about that. You were making fun of him at the time too. So he felt like this was his get back. A year later, he was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to show you guys that you pissed me off, and I'm trying to piss you guys off now. I thought it was hilarious. I thought the entire game was sick. Donnarumma did not appreciate Vinny, celebrating in front of the fans. So he kind of was like, yo, what are you doing, man? Chill out. Go somewhere else with that. I loved it. I thought that this sport needs that fire back, man. Too many times players are too buddy, what's up? Yeah. Cut that shit out, man. Sometimes we need that anger and that emotion back. Now, let's look at some of the scores that we have, the ratings from these players. Doku, I think he's so talented. 7 is about right. I'd even go probably a 6.5. Doku is so talented, but something that really bothers me about him is I think that we're not getting enough stat-wise from him. I'm not seeing enough assists, enough goals. You can't just always feed Haaland. At certain points, with your skill especially, you got to be able to take it and score yourself. You got to at least attempt to make more opportunities for yourself. It can't just be a bunch of down-the-line stuff and trying to hope for Haaland. Haaland played better this time around. He had an 8 rating. He did get a goal. Unfortunately for Haaland, he's not like the Mbappe Lamine type player that he can make his own shot and his own attempt. He's a box player at the end of the day. He's not going to be able to, if his team doesn't play well, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to play well as well. So, I feel for Haaland because even though last leg he ghosted, this time around they played a lot better. But of course, what ends up happening? Silva ends up getting a red card. And I thought that was very, very stupid of him. You can see very clearly in the video, he's like this, and he puts his arm out. Like, bro, I know it's all happening in the split second, but you know how scrutinized this VAR is. You know they're going to be watching that. They're going to see very clearly you move your arm out. It's so obvious, and it really killed the momentum that City was starting to gather. That's the fans were behind them. Remontada was a thought. They were thinking it was going to happen. And for the first 15 minutes, you actually see that City is putting pressure. And you're thinking, you're actually watching and you're going, okay, you can tell Madrid is playing a counter-attacking style. You can tell that was very clear. They were sitting back and City was starting to put pressure. The moment Silva did what he did, at that point, you got to let that goal go in. I'm sorry. I'd rather have the goal go in and have my full team, my full lineup out there, especially someone as important as Silva. The moment that red card happened, it was over. When did that happen exactly? The 20th minute. Yeah, so the first 15 to 20 minutes, you are witnessing a situation like, oh, if City can get a goal, even maybe 2, hopefully, in the first half, we have a game. We have a potential remontada happening. But the moment that red card happened in the 20th minute, it was so over. It was so annoying. As a fan that has no leg in either, I like both teams. I'm not a Madrid diehard. I'm not a City diehard. To see that happen, I was like, well, this game's over. We know what was happening. Let's see also the next ratings over here. Trent did pretty well, especially having to guard Doku, 7.4 rating. Honestly, Trent played well both legs. And I know a lot of Madrid fans were scared with Trent's defending because in general, people are always afraid of Trent and his defending. But I think he played phenomenal both legs, to be honest with you. I think he was a solid player the entire time. Courtois getting injured is such a bad situation for you guys. Although you have a good backup keeper, Courtois, man, I think he's the best keeper in the world right now. So it's very, very sad that he's going to be, sitting out. He's like one of the highest assists in the Champions League currently right now as a keeper. It's insane what he's doing. So I feel really bad for him. Vinny getting a 9, honestly, kind of shocking. He missed a lot of opportunities. So like the fact that he got the opportunities, I think that's fine, to give him a high rating. I understand. But to me, you got to put those in the back of the net. Vinny, to me, didn't have as an impressive performance as I expect people to, assume from the fact that he had 2 goals. And, they expect that because he had 2 goals that he had a good game. The way I look at it, Vinny, I would have much rather have liked to see him play better in the first leg. Because to me, the moment that red card happens, and especially being 3-0 up in aggregate, to me, it seems like he's playing with less pressure. Oh my God, I just spit. That was a crazy spit. Sorry about that, guys. It seems like he was playing with less pressure. With less pressure comes an easier gameplay and a flow, right? So that is nice and all that he got those goals, but I would have liked to have seen him have better performance in a more pressure environment. The fact that Valverde had to basically bail him out when it comes to scoring because Mbappe was out, getting a hat trick, your first ever hat trick. Valverde is a machine. He's a leader. He's a monster. I'm very, very I thought it was insane, honestly, that he was doing what he was doing, especially in that first leg. Valverde has been playing really well for Madrid in the last couple of weeks, and I just think he's a true leader in the sense that you can plug him in on any spot on the field, and he's going to help make the team better. It's incredible what I'm witnessing from him, and I'm very, very proud as just a former player and someone that loves the game. I love watching people like Valverde perform well because he truly deserves to be someone that, is on the team and is like a true leader on the pitch. Vinny, I'm not hating on Vinny. I just don't love the fact that he scored and did well in this game with a red card. Like at that point, is it really that impressive, right? Like the the style that they were playing at that time, especially with the red card, was very counterattack style. Just sit back, make sure they don't get anything silly, scored on, make sure nothing happens. And if they have a chance, let's boot it up to Vinny with the fast pace that he has. And City has to throw numbers up, right? Like it was going to happen. A lot of people were confused with Pep's situation switching. I think he switched it to a 5 in the back. The back line turned into a 5 at half. People were very confused with that, but it made sense in the sense of like if they got scored on again, it was completely over. So they needed to make sure that back line was secure. But I think Pep should have also been a little bit more, what's the word? I guess confident and maybe more like dangerous up top. I think he should have put more to going up and making sure that they had a chance to actually have the remontada. So I was a little upset with him on that standpoint. And seeing Pep and Rudiger get into it at the end of the game was crazy, to be honest. I really love this rivalry, and I think it's going to be a couple more years for this rivalry because as long as Pep is there, and Arbeloa, man, Arbeloa is a beast manager. I know it's very early, but he has taken out Pep, and I think it's just insane what he's been able to do with this type of situation he had handed to him. I think he's leaning on more of the Ancelotti style of management where I think Xabi Alonso did too much micromanaging. And in a big club like this with big stars, it's hard to micromanage because in their sense, in their mind, they don't believe they need the micromanaging. So although Xabi Alonso has a brilliant mind, he might not have been right for the role in their situation because these players are stars in their own right, and it's hard to manage these stars and micromanage these stars. Arbeloa is taking more of the situation of more of like almost like less micromanaging and more feeding their egos, which in this situation might be better for them to feed their egos because it just helps them be more free. Go do your thing, and I'm going to be there to make sure I support you in any sort of way, which honestly in this situation might make more sense for this type of club and this type of environment. And it's so far proving right. I mean, they have to go up against an absolute juggernaut in Bayern now. So I don't know if it'll be as easy as, a 5-1 aggregate with City that they just had. I think Bayern is in a much better position than City has been the entire season. They are a disciplined team, and they're always someone that you have to be careful with. So I think it's going to be a very, very fun two legs for the quarterfinals. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I think this game, Madrid and Bayern coming up, is going to be the team and the game to be watching. I think this is the game so far, the peak of Champions League so far, at least. We'll see maybe in the future going forward, maybe in the finals, we'll have a better situation. But right now, Bayern Madrid, I'm so excited for, especially because Mbappe's coming back. Unfortunately, Courtois being how amazing he's been, him being injured sucks right now, but I'm looking forward to it. And guys, if you like this video and this breakdown of the two legs that I just went over when it came to Madrid and City, please, guys, leave a like, comment what you think is going to happen going forward, what you think about the two legs we just witnessed, anything in particular. I would love to see your opinion on it because I love debating the sport and talking about it in general because we all love this sport and we all love it, and we breathe it, honestly. I feel like at this point, it's crazy watching people debate about it because you can tell people have such a passion for this, and I do too. It's just the best. Football is the best sport in the world, man. So if you guys enjoyed this video, again, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next legs.